Another useful tool in the SIL verification section of Vertigo is the SIL verification summary. You can get to the SIL verification summary by clicking on the tab for SIL verification summary. Now, this is going to bring up another list of all the safety instrumented functions, but instead of providing details on inputs, outputs, voting arrangements, and such, it simply gives you a tag, IPF description, and then the results of the calculation. So what was the selected SIL? What was the achieved risk reduction factor? Required risk reduction factor, minimum fault tolerance, and maximum SIL approved, along with a red light, green light status. So a red light status would show whether or not all of the performance targets for that SIL have been achieved. So for the first safety function here, USC 101A, you see that it's red lighted, meaning that it did not achieve its performance targets. And as you could see on the summary page, the required risk reduction factor was 220, but the achieved risk reduction factor was 132, which caused that item to red light. And if you click on the hyperlink, you can go back into the definition. And let's go ahead and just reduce that requirement of risk reduction factor to 120. Now you see that all of the goals, performance targets have been achieved. And when we hit the update button and come back to the SIL verification summary page, you see that the status is now green lighted. Also, you'll see a gray light, which doesn't mean that the safety instrumented function hasn't achieved its targets. What the gray light means is that there hasn't been enough information input in for a calculation to be performed. So for USC 101D here, we're not running any calculations because sufficient data has not been provided. So the SIL verification summary page provides you with a really good place to get a quick overview of whether or not you've achieved your performance targets, and if not, what could be wrong to lead you to what you need to do to reperform those calculations and get them up to target.